Imagine this. You've planned the perfect vacation. Your bags are packed. You've made it through airport security. You're standing at the gate ready to board. You can even see your plane waiting outside the window. But then, the gate agent looks at you and says, "Sorry, you can't get on." Just like that, your dream trip is over. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, in 2025, this is happening more than ever, and not just for big reasons. Some of the things that can get you denied boarding are so small, so random, they'll leave you completely shocked. In this video, I'm going to share 11 surprising reasons why more travelers are being stopped at the gate, and how you can make sure it doesn't happen to you. Trust me, you'll want to watch until the very end, because reason number 1, it's something that could mess up your entire trip, and most people have no idea it's even a problem. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss tips like these. Now, let's begin. Reason number 11. Your booking looked fine, but it was a ghost ticket. This reason is both confusing and frustrating. Sometimes travelers find great deals online and book a flight that seems to go through without any problem. You get an email confirmation, maybe even a seat assignment. Everything looks official. But then, you show up at the airport only to find out that your name doesn't exist in the airline system. You might hear something like, "Sorry, you don't have a confirmed reservation." What happened? Well, it could be a glitch in a third-party travel site, a payment that didn't go through completely, or even a small technical error between systems. Sometimes booking 2 separate one-way flights on different airlines causes a communication breakdown. One system thinks you have a ticket, the other does not, and that means you're not flying. To avoid this, always double-check your reservation directly with the airline a few days before your flight. Use the airline's app or website to confirm your seat and make sure you're properly booked. It also helps to take screenshots of every step when booking and keep copies of your email confirmation, just in case. Reason number 10. You didn't have the right travel documents. In 2025, travel documents are more important than ever. If you show up with the wrong ID or passport, you could be stopped before you even get near your gate. This happens to a lot of people who don't realize that passport rules change depending on where you're going. Some countries require that your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your arrival date. Others require at least 2 or more blank pages for visas. If your passport is expired, damaged, or has pages missing, you might be seen as a risk and denied boarding. Even for domestic flights, some countries now require upgraded IDs, like the REAL ID in the United States. Your old driver's license might not be good enough anymore. The best way to avoid this problem is to check all entry requirements for your destination country. Make sure your passport is in good condition and valid for a long time past your travel dates. Also, always carry a backup ID just in case there's an issue. Reason number 9, you smelled too strong or too bad. It might sound strange, but yes, people are being denied boarding because of the way they smell. If a gate agent or flight crew member thinks your smell is too strong, either from body odor, heavy perfume, cologne, essential oils, or smoke, they might decide not to let you board. This is especially true if they believe it might bother or cause allergic reactions to other passengers during the flight. It doesn't take much. Even if you've been around smoke or someone else who was using strong fragrances, the smell can linger on your clothes and be noticeable. And since airplane cabins are small and shared with many people, airlines are more careful now than ever before. So, before heading to the airport, take a quick moment to check how you smell. Go for clean and neutral. Think of it as another part of being travel ready. Reason number 8. You got bumped from an overbooked flight. Most people don't know that airlines often sell more tickets than there are seats on the plane. They do this because they assume some people won't show up. But when everyone does show up, there's not enough space. Someone has to be bumped. You might have done everything right. You arrived on time, checked in early, and were polite. But still, you could be the one left behind if your seat class is low, or if you checked in later than others. People with no frequent flyer status, or those who booked basic economy tickets, are usually the first ones to be bumped. To avoid this, check in as soon as possible, preferably 24 hours before your flight. Join the airline's loyalty program, even if you don't fly often. It could give you just enough priority to stay on the plane. Reason number 7, you were rude to airline staff. You may not realize it, but how you speak and act around airline employees matters a lot. If you raise your voice, argue, or act disrespectfully, you could be seen as a risk. Gate agents are trained to look out for behavior that might cause trouble later on during the flight. There have been many cases where passengers were denied boarding just for being rude or sarcastic. One person lost their seat for complaining too loudly about a baggage fee. Another for being dismissive at check-in. Even if you think you're right, losing your temper at the airport is not worth it. The solution is simple. Be calm, be respectful, and if you have a problem, explain it nicely. You'll have a much better chance of getting help and keeping your spot on the plane. Reason number 6, you refused facial recognition boarding. Facial recognition technology is becoming more common at airports. Instead of scanning your boarding pass, a camera scans your face and matches it to your passport or ID photo. It's fast and convenient, but not everyone is comfortable with it. Some travelers refuse to use it because of privacy concerns. That's completely understandable. But here's the catch. On certain international flights, especially if you're not a citizen of the country you're flying from, you may not have the option to refuse. And if you do refuse, you might not be allowed to board. Even if you are allowed to opt out, the process of manual ID checking can take longer. If the line is too slow, you might miss your boarding window. That means you'll be stuck, even if you arrived on time. So, if you plan to opt out, get to the gate early and make sure you ask about your options in advance. Reason number 5, you missed the check-in cutoff, even if you arrived early. Here's a scenario that happens a lot. You arrive at the airport with plenty of time to spare, but you stop to eat or shop before checking in. By the time you reach the counter, check-in has already closed. Airlines have strict deadlines for check-in and bag drop. Sometimes this can be 60 minutes before departure. Some are shortening the window even more without giving much notice. Once the deadline passes, they won't let you check in, and you can't go through security. The safest plan is to check in online the day before your flight, and if you need to check bags, do that as soon as you arrive. Don't waste time before check-in. Get it done first, then relax. Reason number 4, your name didn't match your ID exactly. This is a very common mistake, and it's a deal breaker. If the name on your flight ticket doesn't match the name on your passport or ID, you can be denied boarding. Even small differences like using Mike instead of Michael or leaving out a middle name can cause issues. There was a case where a traveler booked a ticket for his friend using a nickname as a joke. It turned into a big problem at the airport when the ID didn't match. They had to buy a new ticket at full price just to get on the flight. Always book your ticket using your full legal name, exactly as it appears on your ID. If you notice a mistake, contact the airline right away to fix it. Some charge a small fee, but it's better than being denied boarding. Reason number 3, you were at the airport, but the gate was already closed. This one surprises a lot of people. You think you've made it? You're already at the airport, you've passed security, and you're ready to fly. But by the time you get to your gate, it's too late. Most airlines close the boarding gate 15 to 20 minutes before the flight's scheduled departure. That means even if your plane isn't leaving for another 20 minutes, they may already be done boarding. And if all the passengers have boarded early, they might shut the gate even sooner. And here's the harsh truth. Once that door is closed, it stays closed. It doesn't matter if you're right there, waving your arms. It doesn't matter if you're crying, if your name is being called over the speaker, or if your suitcase is already on the plane. They will not open that door again. Airlines are strict about this because of security and scheduling. Opening the door again would delay the entire flight and cause problems for the whole crew. So how do you avoid this nightmare? Always be at your gate at least 30 minutes before departure. Not just in the terminal, at the actual gate, watching the boarding process. Don't assume you'll have time to grab a coffee or go shopping. It's easy to get distracted or lose track of time. Set an alarm, stay close, and be ready. Better to be early and bored than late and left behind. Reason number 2, your carry-on crossed the line. This one's becoming more common in 2025, and it's catching a lot of people off guard. You pack your carry-on like always. It fits in the overhead bin, right? You've brought it on 5 flights before, no problem. But this time, a gate agent stops you and says, "We need to check your bag." Why? Because carry-on rules are getting stricter, and airlines are checking bags more closely. Even a few extra inches in height or a small bulge that didn't matter last year might be a problem now. Some airlines have even started using sizers right at the gate. And if your bag doesn't slide in easily, you'll be told to check it. Now here's where things get serious. If you argue, refuse to pay the fee, or get aggressive, they can deny you boarding. It's happened before. A passenger refuses to check a bag with medication or valuable items, insists they have the right to carry it on, and boom, they're not getting on that plane. Even though it feels unfair, especially if the rules weren't enforced last time, refusing to cooperate will not help you. It can actually get you flagged as a disruptive passenger. So what can you do? Check your airline's carry-on size and weight limits before you fly. Don't pack it to the brim if you're close to the limit. Keep important items like medication or documents in a small personal item you can keep with you. And most of all, stay calm and polite if you're asked to check your bag. A positive attitude can go a long way when dealing with gate agents. Before we move to reason number 1, we're almost there. Reason number 1 is coming up, and it's the most shocking one of all. You won't believe how easily it can happen, even to careful travelers. But before we get to it, take just a moment to support this channel. If you've learned something useful so far, please tap the like button. It really helps more travelers find this video. And if you want to stay ahead of these kinds of airport problems, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a tip that could save your next trip. All right, now, let's reveal the number 1 reason travelers are being denied boarding in 2025. Reason number 1, you were flagged and didn't even know it. This is the most unpredictable, most stressful, and most frustrating reason of them all. Imagine this. You show up at the airport like normal. You check in. You pass security. Everything seems fine, until someone pulls you aside and says, "Sorry, you can't get on the plane." You ask why, and they won't tell you. In some rare but real cases, travelers get flagged in the system without even knowing it. It could be because your name matches someone on a government no-fly list. A past incident at an airport or on a plane caused your name to be marked. A customs or immigration alert from another country was never cleared. Or sometimes it's just a computer glitch or human error. But no matter the reason, the result is the same. You're not flying today. There was a real case where a woman was traveling for her sister's wedding. Everything was ready, flights booked, bags packed, but when she arrived at the airport, she was told she couldn't board because of a flag from another country. She missed the wedding. It took weeks for her name to be cleared. And the worst part? Most people don't even know they've been flagged until it's too late. So what can you do? If you've ever had an issue on a past flight, or if your name is very common, or if you've traveled internationally a lot, it's a good idea to call your airline a few days before your trip. Ask them if your travel profile is clear and if there are any red flags. It only takes a few minutes, but it might save your entire trip. So there you have it. 11 real and surprising reasons why more travelers are being denied boarding in 2025. The rules are tighter, the systems are faster, and the chances of getting stuck are higher than ever. But now you know what to watch for. Stay prepared, stay calm, and travel smart. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.